Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Howdy traders, checking in on the markets after today. Still watching the 12-hour time frame on the S&P 500 futures chart as a guide, and that gave us a nice trade setup today at the end of the day, which we'll go over here in just a second. So the question we had heading into this morning, are we going to form a 12-hour lower high compared to resistance, or are we going to break resistance? The first observation I made after the bell rang in the first 20 minutes of trading was XLF was dropping. Yesterday morning, all of our sectors were at the high of the day at the same time. It was full steam ahead for the bulls. And as soon as I saw XLF not participating for the bulls, I knew that it was not likely that we were going to break this resistance this morning. So we were looking for the potential of a 12-hour lower high. And then midday, I just was playing around with charts as I always am and saw that this was a rising wedge on the hourly time frame. And as soon as I saw that, I posted it in the chat room and then went short right away. And I shorted QQQ. In hindsight, I would have rather shorted the S&P 500 just because the other sectors were a bit weaker than the tech sector. But it was honestly, all of my decision making was made in a span of about 2 minutes between posting the chart and entering bearish because I saw the bulls struggling at the high of the day. I knew resistance was right here and I knew it was a rising wedge. So I will top fish and make that bearish entry every single time. Because again, all you need is that trade to play out 1 out of 3 or 4 times and you're going to be making money. Because if you're wrong and you stop out, it's a small loss. And if you're right, it's a bigger win. So, into the overnight session. Is this our 12-hour lower high? Maybe. The bulls did save it with a pretty solid bounce here into the close. What we would need to see is an hourly lower high and lower low. Because right now we have lost the hourly uptrend, but we're not in an hourly downtrend. What I need to see for a convincing hourly downtrend is a lower high and lower low. That was too big. What bears want to see overnight is a lower high pretty soon and then a lower low. If we confirm an hourly downtrend in that manner, we will have a 12-hour lower high being set. FOMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern is going to dictate whether we reject from resistance and head back down towards support, or whether we break resistance convincingly. And this candle on the 12-hour is about to close, so what the bears must see is a break of the low of this 12-hour candle overnight for the 12-hour lower high to be set. IWM, we broke daily resistance, the high of yesterday's, or I should say the high of last week's bounce attempt. Any individual name or sector that breaks that resistance stands out as stronger against the names that have not. Look at all the major tech names, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. None of them are breaking that resistance level. And why that matters is the bulls now have a lot more space to try and form a daily high or low and confirm a trend change back in their favor, as opposed to names that have not broken that resistance level just yet. So as an example, let's look at Amazon. What does Amazon need for a daily trend change? We haven't even started. We have to bounce and create that space, and we are nowhere near that high of last week's bounce attempt. QQQ, hoping for a 4-hour inverse head and shoulders if we reject from resistance. So again, it's looking at that high of last week's bounce attempt, 282.20. If we reject, we zoom out and we look for a 4-hour higher low compared to 266.90 for that potential inverse head and shoulders to be a possibility. But that resistance level is in play tomorrow, and the bulls saving it here. Look at that bounce into the end of the day and extended hours. That is keeping up the possibility that we do break that resistance level tomorrow. It is still in play. Bulls making a bit of a save here into the close. Healthcare sector also broke its daily resistance of 106.67, and again, creating space to form a daily higher low compared to 103.79 once this move tops out. The financial sector seeing a lot of weakness today and close to rolling over. 24.23 remains the most important support level, as that is our weekly uptrend, higher low. Look at Citigroup, just off of a cliff on massive bear volume, and that is leading the financial sector down. Look at BAC, it's nowhere near the same. So C is clearly a drag on the entire sector, and it is bottomless at this point. With that kind of volume and that kind of close, who knows where we're going to bottom out, but certainly a big drag on the financial sector as a whole. The biotech sector broke daily lower high resistances. Tons of space for a daily higher low compared to 103.20. It is a bearish reversal candle on the daily today. So if 112.15 were to break tomorrow, we know to be looking for a daily higher low to form. But a massive bounce off that low, 100 all the way up to 113. A nice 13% bounce at this point. Obviously a lead bull sector. And if I had to rank the sectors, let's do SMH first here. So SMH, daily trend change as well, little higher low and higher high. Plenty of space for a higher low compared to 164.47. Definitely one of the stronger sectors. So SPY and QQQ both have not broken their daily resistances. IWM broke it. XLV broke it. XLF, definitely a weaker sector. So I'm putting SPY, QQQ, and XLF on the weaker side. And I am putting IWM, XLV, XBI is the lead bull, and SMH probably number 2 on the stronger side. The VIX, daily higher low trying to form, lower high every day the last 6 days. Bulls must break $26 or 26 points tomorrow to set that daily higher low, and from there we would look for a daily lower high compared to 38.30. But close to shifting this momentum. Looks like an hourly falling wedge. And we'll see if we can get some follow through. Looks like we broke it. Man, I don't like that wedge. Let's see if UVXY is any better. Nah, forget the falling wedge. We just need to see the pattern of a lower high every day break for that bounce to be underway. The dollar is staying alive. Held 20, make that 92.70 support. And now the bulls must break 93.66, and it's going to have to be on the back of a reaction to the FOMC that is bullish the dollar and bearish assets. If we get a bearish dollar reaction and a bullish assets reaction, then the weekly bear flag remains a possibility. Have to change the daily trend for the dollar bulls to be making any kind of notable statement. Gold broke bullish, but a fake out, not surprising. Why is it not surprising? For 2 reasons. Number 1, the dollar did not break support of 92.70. And number 2, FOMC is an overhang. We know that even if we did get a strong close today, we know not to trust it because it could be completely erased based on the action tomorrow. So still in my GLD trade, stop loss is set, gonna let it play out, but we need to see a bearish dollar reaction and a bullish assets reaction to the FOMC if we're gonna get a convincing break. And what is missing on any of these little breaks? Volume. We have to see above average volume if we are going to believe that a break is able to have follow through. Silver's the same thing. Silver's done it in both directions for the last month. Bull break with no follow through. Bear break with no follow through. Bull break today, no follow through. So it's like silver is just waiting for gold, and gold may be just waiting for the FOMC. We'll have to see. But volume is needed for us to say, yes, that is our break, and look for follow through in whatever direction that break occurs. Volume continues to decline. Miners, bull break yesterday, or bull break today, I should say, but again, a lack of follow through. Bulls have favor. They have a slight edge. Today was definitely a point in favor of the bulls column, but it's going to be up to the FOMC. Oil bounce getting underway, daily inside bar bull break. We're now watching daily exponential resistance, and we know anything under 43.57 is just a daily lower high. But we have to lose the 4-hour uptrend for that daily lower high to be set. So patient bears are just waiting for a re-entry opportunity after that flush. And we'll see if we get a big enough bounce to that daily exponential resistance, keeping in mind we have the inventory report tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Natural gas daily inside bar, if it breaks bullish, key resistance, the lower high of 2532. And bulls need to set up enough of a bounce to have a daily trend change possible to set that weekly higher low. I was trading DKNG, PENN. A little bit of Tesla today. Lots of volatility in those names, and in my flow day trading a bit, just real short-term trades, but locking in half-day makers, quarter-day maker, third-day maker, and they are adding up because I'm trading more frequently, just in and out real quick. One trade was the DKNG 15-minute high or low. Where was that? Nope, it was the PENN 15-minute high or low. This trade right here. So again, you've heard me say many times, I love the exponential moving averages. Look at this test of 12 period, 15-minute exponential support. We know a higher low compared to the low of the day is the most likely scenario. What do I look for? I look for a trend change on the 2-minute time frame. What did I see? I saw a falling wedge on the 2-minute time frame. So we had bear break after bear break with no follow through. 10 cents of follow through into a bounce, 11 cents of follow through into a bounce. So the way I was playing this is I made a bullish entry looking for the 15-minute high or low because we were at that exponential resistance, I should say support. And I was going to put my stop under 67.60 on my initial entry. So I had one entry fill. I saw the bear break with no follow through, and I then just started entering on bear breaks and then selling half short term. So I'm in a half position. Let's say my half position is at 67.90 with my initial entry. I enter the second position. As soon as I see the bear break with no follow through, I sell it for 10 to 20 cents higher. I drop my average down to 67.80, let's say. And then I do it again. Bear break with no follow through. I enter my second half bullish and I sell it for a 20-cent gain. My break even is now 67.50. And then I let that half position play out a bit longer and sold it, knowing that a 15-minute lower high was the more likely scenario on that bounce. And we ended up with a nice tightening 15-minute range. But that's just an example of, again, using multiple time frames and multiple signals, just like I shorted QQQ because of the hourly rising wedge and clear 12-hour resistance. I entered bullish on this trade because of clear 15-minute support and the 2-minute falling wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern, and it went well. Also, the fact that we were coming off all-time highs is a reason that I was confident making a bullish entry for that 15-minute high or low. If we're in a daily downtrend, I don't try and make that bull entry. Have a good rest of your day. Do good things. We'll see you tomorrow. That's all we got.
So we got a new friend on the property. Unfortunately, this groundhog has lost all function of one of its back legs. Does a pretty good job of dragging himself around, but they usually run. You can't get anywhere near these things, and I could tell that when it let me get that close that something was definitely wrong with it. So it's been eating all these huckleberries, and I set out a bowl of water and it just took a drink. And we got a box in case it needs some shelter from rain, as it's not going to be able to get out of the rain quickly. He's been around for about 3 days now, and every day he's in a new spot of the yard. So he was over by the barn and he went and hid in there, and then he was up in the backyard. So he's been moving around, but really just using me for protection against predators, and hopefully his leg will heal a bit to allow for him to move on. We'll see. Close him up in the garden and heal for a couple weeks. Not sure what to do about it. We'll see.
So Groundhog update, just heard Sweetie barking, which she never does. So she was getting all riled up and ran out there, and she was running around the groundhog, and I don't think she would have, maybe she would have done something if I wasn't there, but yelled and she ran off. And the groundhog has 75% function in his back leg now, way better than 0. And that's just in only 3 days' time. So it's looking like he's going to be just fine.